Damn. So Artimate Slay is a normal spell card coming out in Power of Elements. In the TCG, it will be in early August, and it reads, send one monster from your extra deck to the grave, then target one monster your opponent controls with the same monster card type, so either Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, Pendulum, or Link. Return that monster to the deck. Your opponent cannot activate monster effects in response to the activation of this card. Where do I even start? First of all, this card is now once per turn, so drawing multiple copies of this card is actually really good, because it means that you get to shuffle back multiple monsters, and we take that any day of the week. Second of all, this card has a Dark Ruler No More clause, which stipulates that your opponent cannot activate monster effects in response to this card. So negating that will be very tricky because you might have to rely on spells and traps, which is very, very difficult to do in combo decks. Third, this card covers immense ground as it shuffles back, doesn't destroy the Fusion, Synchro, Pendulum, Xyz, and Link, everything that you can summon from the extra deck, basically. Fourth, you can actually generate advantage by sending the card that matches the monster card type that you're trying to shuffle back. So, for example, if you are trying to shuffle back a card like Mirror Jade, you can send your own Albion or Titanic Cloud, whatever, and basically go +1 from that. And since the Mirror Jade was shuffled back into a private knowledge location, your opponent will not be able to use its nuke effect on the end phase. So you can take care of multiple interruptions with one single card because one single spell card resolving can pop 2 cards. You don't care when you draw multiples because it is now once per turn. And of course, you can generate advantage if that's really what you want to do. So this card can do so much in just one single card. And again, it is really appreciated to have board-breaking cards that are not once per turn. So just to make things clear, you can actually take care of multiple interruptions with one single card because you can shuffle back a monster without your opponent even being able to negate your card, which is already a very good mechanic. But on top of that, you can send Elder Entity Entis to destroy another card, or you can generate advantage with this card. And on top of that, it's not once per turn. Jesus, what else do you want in this card? Like, the only very small little drawbacks are the fact that it targets, and you also have to have the matching card type in your extra deck. So, for example, if you're playing a Link-heavy strategy, and your opponent is playing a Synchro strategy, such as Sword Soul, and you don't really have any Synchros, and you main deck this card, it won't really do anything. But of course, if it's a card that you're only holding in your side deck, then that problem will never be very annoying for you. And yeah, the only way to complain about this card would be to downplay it like crazy, but realistically, it'll always be so incredibly good, and worst case, all you have to do is just not main deck the card, as I said. And unless your name is Patrick and you've been living under a rock for the past few months, you would actually know that Despia has been dominating in the OCG, and it is a fusion-heavy based strategy. So basically, if you're going second against Despia, you can expect your opponent to always have fusion monsters on the field, and Mirror Jade is one of the most important ones because it is a +1 and a huge minus for the opponent. So if you can shuffle back the Mirror Jade, well, it is going to put you in the best position ever. It's actually better than Kaijuing the Mirror Jade, most likely. And on top of that, like I said, you're also progressing your own game state. So this card will most likely be main decked in that format. I'm actually saying it right now. Mark my words, it will be main decked. And like I said, the worst case scenario is that you side deck the card and it acts as a pseudo better Dark Ruler depending on the situation. Okay, so exactly as I said, you can actually pop another card with Elder Entity Entis, we already know that, but on top of that, with a synchro monster like Wind Pegasus adding Nister, you can shuffle back one card your opponent controls when one of your cards is destroyed by your opponent, and of course there is a Link monster by the name of Paleozoic Cambrowraster, which is really good if you're playing a back row heavy deck, because if one of your set card or cards would be destroyed by your opponent, you can actually banish the Cambrowraster from the grave and protect all of your cards in one shot, so that is actually really insane. The world is your oyster with this card, like I said, so many options, and it is just a matter of time before people realize how ridiculously powerful this card is. As I said, mark my words, this card will be overplayed like crazy. So that's all I have to say for this card review. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.